Uses of radioactive isotopes. It is a misconception that radioactive elements are used only for making an atom bomb. Radioactive isotopes are used in various fields such as scientific research, agriculture, industry, medicine, etc. Radioactive substances are used in two ways. A. By using the radiation alone. B. By using the radioactive element itself. Radioactive isotopes are used in various fields as follows. 1. Industrial field. Radiography. Internal cracks and voids in cast iron articles and iron solder can be detected with the help of gamma rays. For this purpose, isotopes like cobalt 60, iridium 192 are used in the radiography camera. This technique is used for detecting flaws in metalwork. Measurement of thickness, density and level. It is necessary to maintain the required thickness in the manufacture of aluminum, plastic, iron sheets of differing thickness. In the manufacturing process, a radioactive substance is placed on one side and an instrument to measure radiation on the other. The radiation read by the measuring instrument varies with the thickness of the sheet. Material inside a packing can also be examined by the same technique. Luminescent paint and radioluminescence. The radioactive substances radium, promethium, tritium with some phosphor are used to make certain objects visible in the dark. For example, the hands of a clock and certain other objects. Krypton 85 is used in high-intensity discharge lamps, while promethium 147 is used in portable X-ray units as the source of beta rays. Use in ceramic articles. Luminous colors are used to decorate ceramic tiles, utensils, plates, etc. Earlier, uranium oxide was used in these paints.
So earlier uranium oxide was used, but then this uranium oxide, they should give out radiations, and that's why they stopped the use of uranium oxide for making these luminous or bright colors or shining colors.
2. Field of agriculture. 1. The genes and chromosomes that give seeds properties like fast growth, higher productivity, etc. can be modified by means of radiation. 2. The radioactive isotope cobalt 60 is used for food preservation. 3. Onions, potatoes are irradiated with gamma rays from cobalt 60 to prevent their sprouting.
So we have seen in the, especially in the rainy season, these onions, potatoes, no, they give out buds. No, the small buds come out on these potatoes and onions, and they become spoiled. They become very hard. It cannot be used for cooking, and that's why they pass this radiations through these onions and potatoes to stop them from sprouting, or what you call stop them from reproducing. Stop them from reproducing. So they will stop reproducing or producing babies or these buds on their bodies, on the bodies of the potatoes and the onions. So that's how it is used in the, for preserving onions and potatoes and all that. And okay, so they are irradiated. Irradiated means they are radiations of from cobalt. They are irradiated with gamma rays, which come from cobalt 60 to prevent their sprouting. That's why you have to be very careful also with these rays. These radiation are very dangerous, especially X-rays. No, that's why people were in working in X-ray labs. They wear lead coats, lead, lead coats. Why? Because the lead coats block the radiations from entering the body of that human being who's working in the X-ray lab. Otherwise, he can have problems. Okay, So that's why you have to be careful also.
4. Strontium 90 is used as a tracer in the research on various crops. Medical science. 1. Polycythemia. The red blood cell count increases in the disease polycythemia. Phosphorus 32 is used in its treatment. 2. Bone cancer. Strontium 89, strontium 90, samarium 153, and radium 223 are used in the treatment of bone cancer. 3. Hypothyroidism. Enlargement of thyroid gland, weight loss in spite of appetite, insomnia are the symptoms of hypothyroidism. It occurs due to overproduction of hormones by the thyroid gland. Iodine 123 is used in the treatment of hypothyroidism. 4. Tumor detection. Boron 10, iodine 131, cobalt 60 are used in treatment of brain tumor, while arsenic 74 is used in detection of small tumors in the body. Hazards of radioactive substances and radiation.
Now we have learned about the usefulness of radioactive substances and the radiation. Now we learn about the hazards. What are the harmful effects of these radioactive substance, the radiation? Okay, it has got every coin has two sides. So if something is useful, it can also be dangerous. Okay, so let's see the harmful or the adverse effects of radioactive substances and their radiations.
1. The central nervous system is affected by radioactive radiations. 2. Hereditary defects are generated by bombardment of radiation on DNA in the body. 3. Radioactive radiation can penetrate the skin and causes diseases like skin cancer, leukemia.
So as I told you, radioactive radiations can also penetrate the skin, the body, and cause various diseases. And it can even hamper the. It can also, what you can say is, harm the reproductive organs of the body. As I saw as I told you, the X-rays. No, I told you, the X-rays have that potential. Even these radiations. Okay. So hereditary defects. No, the children born are deformed. They are born handicapped because of this. If this radiation enter the body, the child can be born deformed, without hands, legs, eyes, because it affects the DNA, and the DNA is a blueprint of the we are learned in the lower the DNA is a blueprint. So the blueprint is destroyed. The blueprint is destroyed. The body will not grow properly of the child, the baby. And the central nervous system also affected. As you can see in the first point, central nervous system, it is the brain and the spinal cord. The brain and the spinal cord make up the central nervous system. And what is leukemia? Third point, the third adverse effect you can see. Leukemia is nothing but blood cancer. Okay, so it is very cancerous. These radioactive radiations are very cancerous.
4. The radioactive pollutants created due to explosions enter the body through air, and it is difficult to control them. 5. The radioactive pollutants released in the sea enter the bodies of fishes and through them enter the human body. 6. The radioactive paint on the watch can cause cancer. 7. The radioactive isotopes, strontium 90, can enter the body through plants, fruits, flowers, cereals, milk, etc., and cause diseases like bone cancer, leukemia.
So, boys, these radioactive substances, they don't get decomposed very easily. They remain in the air, water for a very, very long time. Okay, they don't get decomposed or decayed easily. and that's why they can keep harming the bodies of human beings and animals and plants for a long time. And the fifth, if you can see the fifth adverse effect, it says the radioactive pollutant which are released in the sea enter the bodies of fishes and through them enter the human body. Okay, you see most of this radioactive, sometimes this radioactive, these bombs and all, atom bombs and all, no, they are they are they are this testing of the nuclear testing is done in the nuclear bomb testing is done in the sea. Okay, because uh, it is dangerous to do it on the land. Of course, they do it on the land also. Like you heard of you have seen that movie Pokhran, no, where it is done in the in the desert in Rajasthan. Because the desert is as it is there hardly anything grows. So if you do a nuclear testing in the desert, it won't affect anybody. But there are hardly any plants or animals there. So they do it in the desert. All this nuclear testing either in the desert or in the bottom of the sea. But these radiations, once the nuclear testing is done, they will remain in the air or the water for a long time, and it can come enter into our bodies through the plants. They can directly enter into our bodies, or they can enter it through the plants or the fishes which we eat, and they can cause a lot of problems to us. So I hope this is clear to you all, the lesson. Okay, we'll go ahead. We'll proceed.
A peep into the past. Chernobyl disaster. On 26 April 1986, the graphite reactor in the Chernobyl atomic power plant exploded, and suddenly the radioactive isotopes and radiation came out. Due to this episode, radioactive isotopes entered the human body through water and land and caused genetic disorders. These got carried further into the next generation. Thyroid disorders increased in children as well as adults. As a result, the incidence of throat disease is greater there than in other places.